Mahatma Buddha was born in 563 BC in Lumbini, near Kapilvastu, Nepal. He got enlightenment at Bodh Gaya. Buddha gave his first sermon at Sarnath Risipattan, called Dharmachakra Pravartana, and died in Kushinagar, called Mahaparinirvana. We should remember this. Which event of Buddha's life is represented by the wheel with deer in Indian art? First preaching. Like you can see this. First preaching event of Buddha's life is represented by the wheel with deer in Indian art. Buddha delivered his first preaching in Mrigadava at Sarnath. Matching one. So birth happened. Birth related with lotus. And first sermon related with Dharmachakra Pravartana. Enlightenment is Bodhi tree. And great departure is horse. Asked in EPPCS means. So birth will related with lotus, first ceremony, Dharmachakra Pravartana, enlightenment, Bodhi tree, great departure, horse. Just remember this important one, birth with lotus, and Dharmachakra Pravartana is birth, first ceremony. Okay, it's important one. Karmapa Lama belongs to which of the following sects of the Tibetan Buddhism? Kangyupa. Karmapa Lama belongs to the Kangyupa sects of the Tibetan Buddhism. Which of the following statements is correct about the Lord Buddha? He was born in Kapilavastu, correct. He attained the enlightenment at Bodh Gaya. He described the Vedic religion, correct. Discarded. And he preached noble truth, correct. Gautam Buddha, the founder of Buddhism, was born in 563 BC in Lumbini, now in Nepal. In Sak Kshatriya clan of Kapilavastu, he believed in the history of karma. Buddha discarded the Veda and Vedic rituals. Instead, he believed in the noble deeds and acts in place of Vedic rituals. He has given four noble truths, often known as Arya Satya. So, what is four noble truths? Life means suffering. The origin of suffering, attachment. Cessation of suffering is attainable, and there is part to the cessation of the suffering. So, this is the four noble truths. There is Ashtanga mark also given here. So the Mahabodhi temple has been built at Bodh Gaya where Gautam Buddha got enlightenment, means nirvana, means great knowledge, cessation from the desire. The full 6 year Gautam Buddha sought a due solution to the suffering. Ultimately got enlightenment at the age of 35 years at Bodh Gaya under people tree on a Vaisak Purnima night. Hence he is called Buddha. Mahabodhi temple was built at this site. The Bodhi which in Bodh Gaya belongs to which generation of its family? Fifth. C. Fifth one. Fifth generation. Sasank cut this place. At present, the Bodhi bridge at Mahabodhi temple is not the real one. Where Mahatma Buddha got the enlightenment, according to the Vensang, a Chinese traveler King Sasank. According to the Vensang, King Sasank from the Gauda dynasty destroyed the original tree in the 7th century. At present, tree that we see planted by the orders of Alexander Cunningham, he was the first ASI director, and he is called the fifth generation. It is called fifth generation, this tree. It is heritage site and only fallen leaves of this tree is allowed to touch and pick. You can't touch the tree directly. Which of the following Buddhist sacred place is situated on the bank of river Niranjana, Bodh Gaya, where Buddha got enlightenment? Buddhist sacred place Bodh Gaya, where Buddha got enlightenment, is situated on the bank of river Niranjana. Remember this important. The teachings of Buddha are related to purity and holiness of conduct. The teachings of Mahatma Buddha are mainly based on the purity and holiness of conduct. Who among the following wanted to become the leader of the Sangha even during the lifetime of the Buddha? Devadatta, his cousin brother. Devadatta, the cousin of Mahatma Buddha, in his early days, was a follower of Buddha and a good monk as well. But later he tried to become the leader of Sangha in place of Buddha, but did not succeed. From the beginning, he was thinking of becoming the leader of Sangha. Whom the following did Gautam Buddha nominate first leader of Buddhist Sangha after his death? None of the above. Okay, nobody. Gautam Buddha did not appoint any successor and asked his follower to work towards liberation. The teachings of Buddha existed only in rural tradition. The Sangha held a number of Buddhist councils, 4 Buddhist councils held, to reach consensus on matters of Buddhist doctrine and practice. Concept of Eightfold Path forms the theme of Dharmachakra Pravartana. The concept of Eightfold Path forms the theme of Dharmachakra Pravartana. Sutta Buddha has given the Eightfold Path to get right of miseries of life. According to the Buddhist philosophy, the cause of samaskara impression is avidya. According to the Buddhist philosophy, the primary cause of samaskara impression is ignorance, avidya. Avidya means the absence of knowledge or the lack of understanding of reality. Ignorance is the root cause of all suffering. It's true. Lack of knowledge, ignorance. Which of the following is are true about Gautam Buddha? He believes in karma. Correct. He believes in rebirth. Correct. He believes he attained nirvana. Believe in the power of God. He didn't speak anything about the power of God. Okay. When he was asked about God, he didn't speak. He didn't comment over the God that exists or not. But Jana said he doesn't believe in God. Like Mahatma Buddha believed in the doctrine of karma. He used to believe in the concept of rebirth. Remember the concept of rebirth. He believed on attainment of the nirvana, but did not believe in the existence of God and his power. Buddha believes in rebirth, previous life of Buddha is recorded in Jataka. The entry of women as Bhikshuni into the Buddhist Sangha was allowed by Gautam Buddha at Vaisali. On the request of his disciple Ananda, Gautam Buddha allowed the entry of women as Bhikshuni into the Buddhist Sangha at Vaisali. The first woman who was admitted into the Buddhist Sangha was Mahaprajapati Gautami. Remember this? Okay. What was the Tripatka? Collection of the preachings of Buddha. Tripatka is the most important holy book of Buddhism. It is being divided into 3 parts. Sutta Pitaka, which consists of sermons and teachings of Buddha. Then Vinaya Pitaka, collection of the rules governing the Sangha and monks. And Abhidhamma Pitaka, which deals with the philosophy and Buddhism. Remember this. Vinaya Pitaka with the rules and Abhidhamma Pitaka with the philosophy. Okay. 3 Pitaka texts are related to which religion? Buddhism. 3 Pitaka are sacred books of the Buddhists. 3 Pitaka is associated with which of the following? Buddhist. Which of the following Buddhist texts contain the rules of the monastery rules? Vinaya Pitaka. Okay. Yamaka belongs to the Buddhist Pitaka is Abhidhamma. In order to preach the doctrine of Buddhism, Mahatma compiled a new type of literature, Tripitaka, that can be divided into 3 categories: Sutta Pitaka, Vinaya Pitaka, Abhidhamma Pitaka. Sutta Pitaka contains the saying and teachings of the Buddha. Remember, the Sutta Pitaka is teachings of the Buddha, and Abhidhamma Pitaka is philosophy of the Buddha, and Vinaya Pitaka is then the rules and regulations for the monks. Vinaya Pitaka deals with the rules and to be observed by the members of Sangha and Dhamma. Abhidhamma Pitaka represents the philosophy exposition of the Dhamma. Remember, this is important. This was question asked this year also in RO. Okay. The Abhidhamma Pitaka consists of 7 books: Yamak, Pathan, Kathavathu, Pugalapannati, Dhatu Katha, Vibhanga, and Dhammasangani. It's not important. Just remember that 3 things. Which of the following Buddhist literature contains the Buddha's sermons on the matters of ethics and doctrines? Sutta Pitaka. Sutta Pitaka, which is also called Sutra Pitaka in Sanskrit, is an extensive body of text constituting the basic doctrine Sections of Buddhist canons. Sutta Pitaka is the book of discourses dealing with the ethical principles of Buddha's teachings. One of the parts of Sutta Pitaka, known as Digha Nikaya, is a collection of 34 long sutta, including doctrinal composition, legends, and moral laws. What does Tripitaka means in Buddhism? Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Things. Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha are the three jewels, three ratna of the Buddhism. After the death of Buddha, his teachings were collected in three parts known as Tripitaka. Tripitaka are Vinayapitaka, Suttapitaka, and Abhidhamma. And consider the following about the features of the Buddhist philosophy. The seeds of the Buddhist philosophy is traced in the teachings of the Gautam Buddha itself. Correct. The Buddha always emphasized on leading a moral life for the emancipation of the human sacrifices rather than indulging into the philosopher's problems. Both are correct. The seeds of Buddhist philosophy is traced in the teachings of the Gautam Buddha. Buddha always emphasized leading a moral life for the emancipation of human suffering rather than indulging into philosophical problems. But the later scholars of Buddhism developed a profound philosophy on the platform of the teachings of Gautam Buddha. In ancient Indian Buddhist monasteries, a ceremony called Paravana used to be held. It was the which one? Confession by monks of their offenses committed during their stay in the monastery during the rainy seasons. B1. Okay. During 4 months of the rainy season, the disciples of the Buddha lived in Buddha Mahavihara. During this season, they stopped preaching their religion. After the rainy season, they again start preaching with the welcoming ceremony called Pavarana. In this ceremony, the monk confesses their offenses and discusses future work. Asokaram monastery was situated at Padalpur. According to the famous Buddhist text Mahavans, the Mauryan ruler Asoka built Asokaram Vihar in Pataliputra under the supervision of a monk named Indragupta. Where is the highest in the world Vishwasanti Stupa located in Bihar, Rajgir? Vishwasanti Stupa are the world peace pagoda height 400 meters situated on the hills of Rajgir in Bihar. It is the highest stupa. Okay. There is also Kesaria Stupa in Bihar, that is the world's largest stupa, which is Archadija. The giant Buddha statue of 80 feet at Bodh Gaya was constructed by Japan. It is the current questions at that time. The giant Buddha statue in Bodh Gaya, Bihar, 80-meter height in the meditation posture of Dhyan Mudra, where Buddha is seated on the lotus in the open air. And it took 7 years to complete and is made of sandstone blocks and red granite. This statue was built with the help of the Jokyo sect of Japan. Where the word stupa has been used for the first time, it is Rig Veda. This is the value questions they asked. We should know that stupa originated during the Rig Veda. Okay. The word stupa has been used for the first time in Rig Veda. In Rig Vedic text, stupa means tree stem. Rig Veda refers to a stupa raised by King Varuna above the forest in a place having no foundation. Anything that is laid on the ground like a heap pile might have been known as stupa. The stupa site which is not connected with any incident of Lord Buddha's life is Sanchi. Remember this. There is no Buddha's skeleton inside the Sanchi. Okay. The stupa at Bodh Gaya is related to the enlightenment of Buddha. Sarnath is related to the Dharma Chakra Pravatana, and Kusinagara or Kusinagara is related to the death of Buddha. While Sanchi stupa is not related to any incident of Buddha's life. With reference to ancient India, consider the following statement. The concept of stupa is Buddhist in origin. Totally wrong. It's not correct. It's Rig Vedic origin. Asked in IS 2023. Stupa was generally a repository of relics, correct. Stupa was a votive and commemorative structure in Buddha's tradition. This is the general general option, so it's mostly correct. Where they say origin or stream word that mostly wrong in IS. The concept of stupa predates Buddhism. What stupa is mentioned in texts like Rig Veda, Atharveda, Vajrasanai Samhita, Taittiriya Samhita, etc. Right? So it's wrong. Stupa were usually repositories in which the remains and ashes of the dead were kept as a result of the deep faith of common people in worshipping God and things related to God. For purpose of attaining salvation, the stupa later on acquired its votive and commemorative structure. Which is correct chronological order of the following stupa? So here's no correct, so that's why given. Bharut and Sachi stupa were constructed during the reign of Maurya Emperor Asoka. Some scholars also consider that the Mek stupa was built during the reign of Asoka. Amravati stupa was built during the period of Satavahana. It is not possible to decide the chronological order of the construction of Bharut, Sachi, and Dasmukh stupa. This question should be excluded. Okay. Where is Devanimori stupa situated? Gujarat. Devani Mori is an archaeological site in the Aravalli district of Gujarat. The remains of the Buddhist monastery and stupa belonging to the 3rd 4th century AD have been unearthed from this location. Anatmavada, no self, is the doctrine of Buddhism. Buddhism preaches Anatmavada, which is clear from the principle of Pratya Samutpada of Gautam Buddha. Anatmavada means that there is no soul or Atma. Anatmavada. It is of the view that there is no permanent self, soul, or essence in phenomena. World is unstable and transient is related to which of the following? Buddhism. Impermanence, also called as Anit, is one of the essential doctrines and a part of the three marks of the existence in Buddhism. The doctrine asserts that all of the conditioned existence without exception is transient, evanescent, and inconstant. All temporal things, whether material or mental, are compounded objects in a continuous change of condition subjects to decline and destruction. Who among the following is known as the light of Asia? Famous Mahatma Buddha. Gautam Buddha, also known as Siddhartha Gautam Sakyamuni, and Sakyamuni, remember this is PYQ, are simply the Buddha, as a sage on whose teachings Buddha was founded. Buddha is also prominently known as the light of Asia or light beam. Remember this. Edwin Arnold wrote a book, The Light of Asia, based on the life of Buddha. Who among the following known as the light of Asia? Lord Buddha. With reference to the ancient India, Gautam Buddha was generally known by which of the following epithets? It is Sakyamuni. This is question asked in 2024. Sakyamuni means this is the cut. Okay, first is wrong. Second and third, 50-50 we can do. And Tathagata, 2 and 3 is correct, not Nayaputta. It is Mahavira related. Nayaputta, this is not an epithet of Gautam Buddha. The ancient text referred to Mahavira, 24th Tirthankar of Jainism, as Nayaputta. Mahavira was known as Nayaputta, son of Nayar. We refer to as clan of origin. Sakyamuni, this is an epithet of Gautam Buddha, meaning sage of the Sakya. Sakyamuni, Gautam Buddha known as. Gautam Buddha belonged to the Sakya clan. Okay, Sakya clan, Gautam Buddha belongs. Tathagata. This is another title of or epithet of Gautam Buddha. The Buddha used the term to refer to himself after he had attained enlightenment bodhi, and it became one of the stock epithets of the Buddha. Who advocated Neo-Buddhism? Ambedkar. Okay. Nayavana, Neo-Buddhism means new vehicle and refers to the reinterpretation of Buddhism by B.R. Ambedkar. Nayana rejects practices and precepts as renouncing monk and monasticism, karma, rebirth after life, samsara, meditation, enlightenment, and Four Noble Truths. Considered to be foundational in the Buddhist tradition, it revises the original Buddha teachings about class struggle and social equality. Who has propounded the doctrine of momentaries? Buddha. The doctrine of momentary was propounded by Buddha. It is one of the most important doctrine of Buddhism. Through this doctrine, the Buddha expounded the basic principles of impermanence. With reference to cultural history of India, which one of the following is the correct descriptions of the term paramitaj? This is the terminology they used to ask. So it is asked, I guess, so it is perfection of the attainment led to the bodhisattva path. Okay. Paramita in Buddhist terms is translated as perfection towards the path of becoming Buddha. The Paramita represents quality that the Bodhisattva strives to perfect in order to purify karma and kleshas and develop Bodhisattva. Sir Edwin Arnold book The Light of Asia is based on Lalit Vistara. The Light of Asia subtitled The Great Renunciation is a book of Sir Edwin Arnold. The first edition of the book was published in July 1879. This book is based upon the contents of Lalit Vistara. What is the fundamental difference between Hinayana and Mahayana sects of Buddhism? It's related with the God and goddesses. Fundamental difference between the Hinayana and Mahayana sects of Buddhism is regarded treating Buddha as God. Hinayana believed in Buddha as a great man, whereas Mahayana started worshipping Buddha through idol treating him as God. But this is the difference. Mahayana considered him as an ideal God. Gautam Buddha was elevated to the position of God during the period of Kanishka. The fourth council held during the reign of Kanishka divided Buddhism into two sects, namely Hinayana and Mahayana during Kanishka time. In fourth Buddhist council. In Mahayana, Gautam Buddha was treated as God and they started worshipping Buddha through idols. Okay. Hence, Gautam Buddha was elevated to the position of God during the period of Kanishka. The first human statues worshipped in India were those of Buddha. Okay. In India, Gautam Buddha was worshipped first through idols by the Mahayana sects of Buddhism. Which of the following laid the foundation of idol worship in the country? It is Buddhism. In the context of the following, Buddhism laid the foundation of idol worship in the country. The followers of the Mahayana primarily started worshipping the idol of Buddha. Name the mudra which is represented by the Gandhara Buddha image of Sarnath. First sermon. It is Dharma chapter. The Gandhara Buddha image was inspired by the Hellenistic realism, tempered by Persian, Scythian, and Parthian model. The main subject of this art is based on the life of Buddha. The image consists of Dharma Chakra posture, meditation posture, Abhya posture, and Varada postures of Gautam Buddha. The standing statue of Gautam Buddha was built in which period? Kusan period. In India, the Gandhara had flourished during the Kusan rule, particularly Kanishka, the greatest of the Kusana, was a great patron of art and architecture. It was during his reign that Gandhara school of art flourished. Both sitting and standing posture of Buddha's statues were carved out in Mathura school. The Kusana art of Gandhara is mainly known for the wealth of sculptures recovered from numerous Buddhist stupas and monasteries. The oldest sculptures of Buddha is made in which style? More than one. Okay. During the Kusana period, various statues of Buddha and Bodhisattva, both in standing and sitting position, were made in Mathura and Gandhara style. Okay. As per V.S. Agrawal, Buddha statues were first made in Mathura only. As per the Himalayan Song, first Buddha statues were made in Kausambi. But various historians give credit to Gandhara style for first statue of Buddha. Okay. Hence, it is not said country the first statue of Buddha was. Okay. Lord Buddha image is sometimes shown with the hand gesture called Bhumispars Mudra. It symbolizes Buddha's calling of the earth to watch over Mara and to prevent Mara from disturbing his meditation, calling Buddha to witness Buddha's calling of the witness. This is not correct. Okay, why will he call? Buddha's calling of the earth to witness his purity and chastity despite the temptation of Mara. This is correct. B. 98 B. In Bhumi Sparsa Mudra, Buddha is seen seated with his right hand extended over the right knee, stretching towards the ground with the palm inward. While touching the lotus throne, the left hand can be seen with the palm upright in his lap. This gesture represents the moments of Buddha's awakening as he claims the earth as witness of his enlightenment. Just before he realized enlightenment, it is believed that demons Mara tried to frighten him with the armies of demons, which represent the defeat of Mara and his demonic army by Buddha. Sarnath Buddha's image of Bhumi Sparsa Mudra belongs to Gupta period. Bhumi Sparsa Mudra of Gautam Buddha at Sarnath belongs to Gupta period. This mudra represents steadfastness. The Dhyani Buddha Akshobhaya is also associated with the earth witness mudra because he was immovable in keeping a vow never to feel anger or disgust at others. The mudra also symbolizes the union of skillful means upay, symbolized by the right hand touching the earth, and wisdom, prajna, symbolized by the left hand on the leap in meditation posture. Sarnath Buddha, image of Bhumi Sparsa, belongs to Gupta period. Now it's matching one. So 1 and 3. Okay. With reference to the cultural history of the concept following. Paravrajika, renunciation of the wanderer. Sramana, priest with the high status. No, it is some different worshipper. Renunciation, we can say Sramana, who renunciate the world and Rome. Okay. And Upasaka, lay follower of Buddhism. Okay. This is a PYQ question. They asked many times. This is asked in IS Pre 2009. So 1 and 3. Upasaka are lay followers of Buddhism who are not monks. Okay. They are the lay followers of Buddhism, not monks. Parivrajaka literally means here Upasaka is given. Lay followers of Buddhism. And Parivrajaka literally means renunciator and wanderer. Okay. Renunciator wanderer. Buddhist bhikshu is primarily a Parivrajaka. A Sramana is a wandering monk in certain ascetic traditions, including Jainism, Buddhism, and Ajivikism. They are the wandering monks. Sramana, not priest. Which one of the following ruler did not contribute towards the expansion of Buddhism? Pushmit Sunga. It is said that he destroyed many Buddhist stupa, also many things. So he was against the Buddhism at that time. So it didn't contribute. So Harshavardhana contributed, Kanishka contributed, Asoka built a stupa, many stupa. Kanishka built a statue of Buddha and held fourth Buddhist council. Also Kanishka. Harshavardhana donated many villages to Nalanda University for promotion of Buddhism. So now Pushyamitra Sunga was the founder and the first ruler of the Sunga Empire. He was the founder of Sunga Empire. In East India, Pushyamitra was originally a general of the Maurya Empire. At 184 BC, he assassinated the last Mauryan ruler, Brihadrath, and proclaimed himself emperor. Buddha stated that Pushyamitra cruelly persecuted the Buddhists. Kushinagar was the capital of Malla Republic. Okay, correct. Lord Buddha Mahaparinirvana took place in Kushinagar. That's also correct, but because I'm not this, the capital of Malla is Kushinagar. Okay, so both are correct, but not the correct explanation. Okay. Kushinagar was the capital of Malla and also one of the 16 Mahajanapada of the 6th century BC. Lord Buddha's Mahaparinirvana took place in Kushinagar. Therefore, both are true but not correct. Matched. So, which of the following pairs are correctly matched? Lothal, ancient dockyard, correct, just we have read, and ancient IBC. Sarnath, first Sarmana Buddha, correct. Rajgir, lion capital of Asoka, no, not capital. Nalanda, great seat of Buddhist learning. This is correct. So 1 and 3 and 1, 2 and 4. Okay. Rajgir is a pilgrimage center of Buddhists, for Hindus and Jains, and is famous for its hot water springs. Lion capital of Ashoka is in Sarnath, not in Rajgir. Sarnath is Uttar Pradesh. Okay. The remains of an ancient dockyard are found in Lothal, Gujarat. Mahatma Buddha delivered his first sermon at Sarnath. Nalanda was a great seat of Buddhist learning. In the Mahayana Buddhism, the Bodhisattva Avalokitesvara was also known as Padmapani with the lotus he took. Okay. Padmapani or lotus bearer, here given, is one of the most common epithets of Avalokitesvara, the Bodhisattva of infinite compassion. This superbly model sculpture stand in a Tribhanga tree bend pose. You can see in NCERT his figure is given in tree bend side. In three side, three postures he has given to his body. Near the Buddha, you can see a Bodhisattva is a living being, Sattva, who aspires to enlightenment, bodhi, and carries out altruistic practices. The Bodhisattva ideals is central to the Mahayana Buddhist tradition as the individual who seeks enlightenment both for himself or herself and for others. Arya Manju Sri Mulakalpa is related to which of the following? The Arya Manju Sri Mulakalpa refers to Buddhist tantric text. Okay, tantric text related with. It is associated with the Mahayana and Vajrayana. Both things. Okay. Buddhist. This is part of the broader corpus of the Buddhist scriptures that provide instructions on various rituals, meditations, and practices aimed at attaining enlightenment. With reference to the religious history of India, consider the following. Asthavirvadin belongs to Mahayana Buddhism. Lokottaravadin sects was an offshoot of Mahasankhya sect of Buddhism. The definition of Buddhism of Mahasankhya fostered by Mahayana Buddhism. Third is correct. First is wrong, I think. Okay. Let me see. B will be the answer. Okay. So 2 and 3 is correct. This is not Asthavirvadin was related with the Hina, not Mahayana. Okay. So 2 and 3 are correct. Asthavirvadins belongs to the Heenyan sect. Remember this. Okay. Lokottaravadin sect was an offshoot of Mahasankhya sects of Buddhism, while deification of Buddha by Mahasankhya fostered the Mahayana Buddhism. Okay, deification of Buddha means consider Buddha as a god. With reference to the Indian history, who among the following is future Buddha? Yet to come to save the world. It is Maitreya. Asked in IS 2018. Maitreya makes his first appearance in Buddhist scriptures in the Chakkavatti Sutta of Pali Tripitaka. In this sutta, the Buddha spoke of future time in which the dharma is entirely forgotten. Eventually, another Buddha, Maitreya, will gain awakening. His monastic sangha numbering in the thousands. The Buddha said, "This is the only time in the historic Buddha is recorded as mentioning Maitreya." With reference to the religious history of India, consider the following statement. The concept of Bodhisattva is central to the Hinayana sect of Buddhism. Wrong. Not Hinayana, it's Mahayana. The Bodhisattva is a compassionate one on his way to enlightenment, correct? Bodhisattva delays achieving his salvation to help all sentient beings on their path, correct? 2 and 3. The word Bodhisattva is compounded word from Bodhi, enlightenment, and Sattva, essence spirit. Bodhisattva is the goal and ideal of Mahayana Buddhism. The Mahayana Buddhists do not aspire to enlightenment purely to free themselves from suffering, but they do so out of compassion to liberate their sentient beings. They delay achieving their salvation to help all sentient beings on their path to do it. The paintings of Bodhisattva Padmapani is one of the most famous and oft illustrated painting at Ajanta. Okay. Padmapani, who hold the lotus. Okay. The painting of Bodhisattva Padmapani was one of the most famous art structure in cave first of Ajanta. Padmapani in Sanskrit literally is translated into one who holds the lotus. Padmapani. The Bodhisattva Padmapani sits among a crowd of devotees, both princes and commoners, with long dark hair hanging down below a jeweled crown. He stands holding his attribute, a blue lotus flower in his right hand. The painting of Bodhisattva Padmapani is located at Ajanta. The largest and the most evolved rock cut chat hall of the Hinayana Pheji located at Karle. The Chaitya is the largest and most evolved cave temple of the Hinayana Pheja Buddhism. Chaitya means temple of Buddha, Hinayana Buddhism, situated at Karle in Pune district. Karle, remember this place, Karle in Maharashtra. Okay. In which of the following rock cut caves 11-headed Bodhisattva image is depicted? Kanheri. Ask any people knowing this. Kanheri caves located in Sunset Island are a major tourist destination at the city of Mumbai in Maharashtra. Remember this. These caves are located in the Sanjay Gandhi National Park complex. Kanheri mentioned in ancient records as Kanha Sel, Kanagiri was the main center of Buddhism. It has the largest number of caves built at the single hill. Kanheri caves were built in the 1st century BC and they were in use until 11th century AD. Cave number 41 earlier by number 23 houses an interesting idol Avalokiteswara with 4 arms and 11 heads. It is only statue of this kind in India. The worship of this form of Bodhisattva were prevalent in China, Chinese, Turkestan and Cambodia and Japan. Who is the author of Visuddhimagga? Buddha Ghosa. Visuddhimagga is a treatise on Buddhist practices and Theravada Abhidhamma written by Buddha Ghosa. Okay. Which of the following Buddhist texts were written in the Sanskrit language? Okay. Divya Vadana and Arya Manju Srika Mula Kalpa. Okay. But the Buddhist scriptures 1 and 4 is correct. The Buddhist scriptures Divvadana and Arya Manjusri Mula Kalpa were composed in Sanskrit. In contrast, the historical Buddhist scriptures Deepavamsa and Mahavamsa, which give information about ancient history of India and Sri Lanka, were composed in Pali language. Which Indian Buddhist monk had been sent to China in the 1st century AD? It is Nagarjuna. Sunyavadi promoters. Remember this is the PYQ questions they asked. Nagarjuna was sent to China, 1st century AD. Nagarjuna was an eminent personality in the court of Kanishka. Remember this. Yuan Sang called him as one of the world's 4 great guiding power. In the book Madhyamika Karika, he had discussed the theory of relativity. He is also theory of relativity. Remember this. He also known as the Indian Einstein. According to the Chinese mythology, Nagarjuna traveled to China pre-Buddhism. Nagarjuna and Nagsen, remember this big difference. Okay. Nagsen is different and Nagarjuna in 1st century, so never promoted. Okay. Nagsen and Milind, they are the different thing. Milind Panu, like discussion of Nagsen and Milind King were mentioned in Milind Panu. A book with there, and Nagarjuna is different. Okay, it is PYQ which is asked. Doctrine of Vaid Sunyavad, why propounded by the Buddhist philosopher is Nagarjuna, not Nagsen. Remember, don't be confused. Nagarjuna's primary contribution to Buddhist philosophy was in the use of concept of Sunyavad, a doctrine of Vaid. The famous literary work Madhyamika Karika provides one of the Nagarjuna's most famous quotations on impertinence or querying. To which Buddhist school did Nagarjuna belong? Sunyavad. No, Madhyamika. Nagarjuna. Madhyamika. Sunyavad also there. Madhyamika. With reference to Indian history, consider the following. So, how many pairs given above are correctly matched? Nath Muni, Vaishnava scholar. Aryadev, Jain scholar. Diganga, Buddhist scholar. So only two pairs incorrect. One is wrong. Aryadev was Buddhist philosophers, not Jain philosopher. Remember this. Okay. And disciples of Nagarjuna. Aryadev was disciples of Nagarjuna. Okay. Asked in IS 2022. Diganga was also a Buddhist, and Nath Muni was a Vaishnava scholar, who is considered the first teacher of Vaishnava sect. Buddhist center of learning is Vikramshila, which is built by Dharpal. During the Buddhist period, some of the most important centers of the learning in India were Nalanda, Vikramshila, and Vallabhi. These centers of learning were not only popular among the different Janapada from where students came for the learning, but also it attracted students from abroad, China, Japan, Tibet, and other countries of Southeast Asia. Some of the education centers like Takshila and Nalanda enjoyed the state university. Okay, Vikramshila built by Dharmpal, situated in Bhagatpur in Bihar. Which of the following is not the famous center of Buddhist learning in ancient time? Nagpur is not famous. Vallabhi is famous. Nalanda is Vikramshila. Yeah. Among the given option, Nagpur was not a prominent center. In ancient India, the main center of Buddhist education was Vallabhi, Vikramshila, Nalanda. All of these were known for their advanced educational system and for Buddhist study. Vallabhi University was situated in Gujarat. Vallabhi, one of the most important centers of Buddhist learning, was situated in Gujarat. It is also known as Vallabhipura and was the center of ancient Maitrika dynasty. Okay. Nalanda University was founded during the dynasty of Gupta. Nalanda was a large Buddhist monastery in the ancient kingdom of Magadha, modern Bihar. Historians describe Nalanda University. Nalanda flourished under Gupta Empire and was famous for the Buddhist religious philosophy. Who was the founder of Nalanda University is Kumargupta. Nalanda University was the world's first international university, founded in 450 AD during the reign of Kumargupta. Right? The great archaeologist Alexander Cunningham identified this site as Nalanda University in 1915-1916. Why Nalanda University was famous in the world? Why Buddhist religious philosophy? Find order to statement, find the sections and second region carefully, read Buddhism. Till the end of the 12th century, Nalanda Mahavira lost its glory. Correct. State protection ceased to be available to Mahavira. Correct. So both the correct and section correct. In ancient India, Nalanda was a famous center of Buddhist learning and university as well. It was located at Rajgiri, Bihar. Nalanda University came into existence during the period of Gupta. By the end of the 12th century, Mahavira went due to the Muslim invasion. The importance of Nalanda started decline due to the Pala rulers of Bengal, as they started giving protection to Vikramshila University. So both are correct. Now Nalanda Mahavira is famous for Pali Research Center. Now Nalanda Mahavira is famous is a modern Pali and Buddhist research center. Its foundation stone was laid on 20th November 1959. Which of the following were common to both Buddhism and Jainism? Which one? Awarding extremity of penance and enjoyment. No. Extremity and penance in Jaina it was there, not in Buddhism. So it's wrong. Indifference to authority, yes, correct. Daniel efficiency, correct. Non-injury to animal life, correct. It's so 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4 here. The avoidance of extremity of penance and enjoyment was a trait of Buddhism, not a Jainism. While denial of efficiency of rituals, indifference to authority of Vedas, and injury to animals are prohibited by both religions, both of them followed the path of Ahimsa. Ahimsa was central to both Buddhism and Jainism. With reference to the history of ancient India, which are the following correct? Which is common to both Buddhism and Jainism? Avoidance of extremities of penance and enjoyment. No, it's not in Buddhism, wrong. So first wrong, correct, but 2, 3 is correct. Indifferent to Veda and denial to physical correct. 2 and 3. Asked in IS 2012. Okay. Which are the following not common between Buddhism and Jainism? Self-modification is not common. It means extreme penance faces in extreme extreme penance was not there in Buddhism. It was only in Jainism. Okay. Ahimsa were common, indifference, Abheda, rejection were correct. Lord Buddha preached the following four noble truths, put them in correct order. So what was first? There is suffering, correct. So there is a first correct. Second, cause of suffering. Third is cessation is there. So there is a part to cease to the suffering. Okay. So one AD, cut. Then four to ADB. Okay. After attaining enlightenment to preach his thoughts, Gautam Buddha arrived at Risipattam Sarnath, where he delivered a sermon to five Brahmins. It is also known as Dharma Chakra Pravartanam. The sermon was related to suffering, the cause of suffering, and its solution. The concept of eightfold path forms the theme of Dharma Chakra Pravartana Sutta, which means sermon of the turning of the wheels of the law. He prescribed noble eightfold path and four noble truths, which were accepted as basic tenets of the Buddhist sect. The four noble truths in chronological order are this. So there is suffering, cause of suffering, cessation of suffering. There is a path leading to the cessation of suffering. Both Jainism and Buddhism believed that philosophy of karma and transmigration of souls were correct. Yes, salvation is not correct. Only after death, no, extreme word. Both men and women, no, it's not true at that time. Okay, middle course of life was the best. It's only in Buddhism, not in Jainism. Both Buddhism and Jainism believe in the concept of karma, which states that our past actions affect our present and future life. One could do evil in his life and be reborn as a worm in the next life. Similarly, afflictions in this life are often explained away as the effects of karma of previous life, as far from misdeeds earlier in this life. Both of them believe in this philosophy of karma and rebirth. According to the philosophy of Buddhism, rejected, which is correct, philosophy of Buddhism rejected the concept of rebirth wrong. They didn't. They accepted the rebirth. Soul is mortal, correct. So first is wrong. So this is the correct. Prati Pratitya Samutpata is the essence of Buddhist teachings. The invincibility of Vedas, the immortalization of soul propounded by Brahmin Granthas were inadmissible in Buddhism. Even though they rejected the immortalization theory of soul, they accepted the principle of rebirth and theory of karma. According to them, life originates due to the causes of various preconditions which are interdependent. One type of state comes into being as a result of another previous state. So it is clear that assertion not correct, right? Which of the following statements are correct about Buddhism? It did not reject castes and class, correct. It challenged highest social ranking Brahmin, correct. It punished certain castes as low, correct. She is correct. Although Buddhism had accepted the caste system up to some extent, but they challenged the social rank of Brahmins who were at the top during the period. In Buddhism, some of the castes were placed as low. The reason included in expansion of Buddhism was simplicity of religion, special appeal towards Dalits, missionary conservative religion, regional languages, soundness of ethic spirit by philosophers. This is not right. Okay. So C 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Regional language, special Dalits, missionary concepts. Okay. The main reason for the spread of Buddhism was its simplicity. Its eightfold paths, known as Arya Satya, and concept of non-violence were simple and understandable by the common people. Buddha spread his message in the simple language or the language of common people. Buddhism did not believe in caste distinctions. The non-Brahmins, particularly Dalits, were attracted by the simplicity of Buddhism. They also followed the missionary concept. Why did Buddhism start declining in India in the early medieval times? Why? Buddhism was by that time considered as one of the incarnation of Vishnu and thus became a part of Vaishnavism. This is correct. Vaishnavism, Bhakti sect emerged during medieval period. So that's why Buddha declined. And God Vishnu considered an incarnation of Buddha. So that's why God Vishnu got more prominence. The invading tribes from Central Asia till the time of last Gupta king adopted Hinduism, persecuted Buddhist, wrong. The kings of Gupta dynasty were strongly opposed to Buddhism, wrong. Buddhism started declining in India in the early medieval time because Buddha was by that time considered as one of the incarnation of Vishnu and thus became a part of Vaishnavism. The king of Gupta dynasty were not opposed to Buddhism even though they supported Brahminical faith. Okay. With reference to the religious history of India, consider the following statement. Sautantrika and Samitya were the sects of Jainism. No, it's a Buddhism sects. Okay. Sarvastivadin held that the constituents of phenomena were not wholly momentary but existed forever in later form. Correct. Okay. So B is the correct one. Sautrantika and Samitya were the sects of Buddhism, not Jainism. Sarvastivada literally means doctrine that all exists. Sarvastivadin describes a complex system in which past, present, and future phenomena are held in have some form of their own existence. Like all Buddhists, Sarvastivadins consider everything empirical to be impermanent, but they maintain that the dharma factors are externally existing. Impermanence, also called Anitya, is one of the essential doctrines and part of three marks of existence in Buddhism. This doctrine was presented by Buddha himself. The doctrine asserts that all conditions existed without exception, is transient, evanescent, inconstant. This impermanence is a source of dukkha sufferings. Right? Consider the following statements. What is the difference between Chaitya and Vihara? This is the PYQ. In IS also it was asked, PCS also. So Chaitya is a place of worship. Remember this. And Vihara is a residence for the monks. Okay, so B is the correct one. At Chatyagriha, Buddhist caves, a meeting or assembly chamber which is often used for prayers, while viharas are the shelter accommodating of the monk during the rainy seasons. Okay. In Indian art, the construction of stupa, chaitya, and vihara is related to which of the following sects? Buddhism, asked in BPSC 2023. Stupa, chaitya, and vihara all are related to Buddhism. Stupa is a dirt burial mound faced with stone. In Buddhism, the earliest stupa contained portions of the Buddha essays, and as a result, it began to be associated with the body of Buddha. Chaitya is a place of worship, while vihara is a dwelling place of monks. Okay, this is the worship and dwelling place vihara. Some Buddhist rocks cut caves are called Chaitya, while others are called vihara. What is the difference between this? Chaitya, worship place. Where is the worship place? Yes. No, it's wrong. Not vihara is regent. And Chaitya is a worship, where vihara is the dwelling place. Correct. Okay. So D is the correct answer. Consider following statement. Earlier Chatyagriha and Vihara of Gundupalli in West Godavari district are rock cut. Okay, correct. The Chatyas and Vihara of Eastern Deccan are usually rock cut. Correct. When the Gundupalli was in Western Godavari district, now is NTR district. Okay. It is rock cut Chatyas and Vihara. Chatyas and Vihara Eastern Deccan are usually rock cut. Okay. Consider the following statement regarding stupa and choose the correct one. The word stupa is an architectural term and means something which is reared up by accumulation. Okay. Okay, correct. The practice of building stupa in memory of the deceased existed even before the Buddha era. Correct. Okay, both are correct. The literal meaning of the term stupa is to pile up or to construct. It refers to object or structure created through accumulation. In particular, in Buddhism, the word stupa is used to denote a religious monument, the construction of which was intended to preserve the remains of Buddha and his followers securely. The tradition of building stupa in India did not begin with the Buddhism, rather it dates back to pre-Buddhist era. This tradition emerged from the burial practices of ancient community in which tombs were built over the remains of departed leaders of the community. These tombs later evolved into stupas. Okay. So stupa existed even before Buddhism. In which was the following regions was the Dhanakataka, which flourished as a prominent Buddhist center under the Mahasanghika located. It is Andhra, Dhanakataka. It is PYQ. Asked in IS 2023. Dhanakataka, present day Dharni Kota, is an ancient site located in present day Palanadu district in Andhra Pradesh. Remember this, Dhanakataka in Andhra Pradesh. It was an important town in Deccan and the capital of later Satavahana. It was a major center of Buddhist learning and culture. Excavations at Dharani Kota has revealed vihara here and in nearby area. Which forms of Buddhism was prominent during the Sultanate periods? Which one is Vajrayana? In the medieval period, Sultanate period, okay, Vajrayana sect of Buddhism was most prominent. Vajrayana mostly flourished in 8th century AD. The principle of Vajrayana is found in Arya Manjusri Mulkalpa and Guhya Samaja. Right? Sanghbhuti, an Indian Buddhist monk who traveled to China at the end of 4th century AD, was the author of commentary on which one? Sarvastivada Vinaya. Okay. Asked in IS 2024. Sanghbhuti, an Indian Buddhist monk who traveled to China at the end of 4th century AD, was the author of commentary on Sarvastivada Vinaya. Okay. A significant text within the Sarvastivada school of Buddhism, which outlines the rules and regulations for monastic life. Sanghbhuti's commentary provided explanation and interpretations of the Vinaya rules, aiming to clarify and elaborate on the text for Chinese Buddhist practitioners. In its early history, the Sarvastivada Vinaya was the most common Vinaya tradition in China. Okay.